And we're back with another week of the RaiderNation podcast. We are the hostess here. We got my guy Chad, I'm Darion, and we are in the building to talk about this horrible game that we just had against the LA Chargers and what to expect from next week from our Oakland Raiders team. Chad, I wasn't really able to watch all the game today. On Sunday, but if you want to give them a real breakdown of what happened, all I know the score was 26-10, and all I know is that we was at the 1 yard line and we decided to throw the football because I was not home to see it. So what actually happened here?
Well, the whole game itself was a complete shit show from the word go. They came out. Defense was actually making stops. It was a 3-3 game for a while. Then everything happened. Martavis Bryant catches a big pass, runs down the middle of the field. He's chicken winging with the football. Of course, a fumble happened. They recovered. They scored. And then the annihilation was on. The entire team didn't even seem like they wanted to be there. It was just, there was no heart, nothing involved in that game. I swear to God, the players, coaches, Mark Davis, everybody needs to go to every fan that bought a ticket in that damn game and give them their damn money back. It was just a complete shit show from the word go. And the running of the ball, first and goal at the 1, you got a guy like Marshawn Lynch back there. You at least give him 2 cracks at it. At least 2 cracks before you decide to throw. But I will say this, Derek hit a wide open Melvin Ingram right in the chest. I don't know how he couldn't see him. He was standing right freaking in front of him in the end zone. Everything that I watched on that game just pissed me off more and more. It wasn't good from the onset. And the only touchdown the Raiders did get was a gift-wrapped one from the officials. We should have got a motion on that because nobody was set. And then that's when Carr threw the only touchdown pass of the entire game for us. We go into that game. The Chargers are ranked, 28th to 30th in overall defense. 10 points. The week before that, we put 45 up against the Cleveland Browns team that is twice the defense the Chargers are.
Which is better than the Chargers defense anyway. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're much better all the way around. All 3 phases of that defense, linebackers, and secondary. Everything's better. They targeted, I know there's a lot of people calling for the head of, Derek Carr, Amari Cooper. Cooper can't catch the ball if he's not targeted. He was targeted once, and he caught it for a 10-yard gain. To me, shit goes downhill. It needs to start with Mark and go all the way down. There isn't a single player, coach, owner, anybody that did anything good for that team this week. It is probably one of the worst games I've seen since last year in week 3 against the Redskins. That's how bad that game was.
Oh, that game was horrible last year, man, against the Redskins. We could have blew the Redskins out the park with that.
Yep.
I'm gonna pull the Raiders. I'm gonna pull the game stats up because I gotta see the stats alone. Because me personally, I like the comparison between us and theirs. And I love to, do the team stats, knowing the fact that it shows you why we lost the game. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like to pull the team stats up. So let me just pull this up real quick.
Look at the third down percentage.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna go to the third down percentage. I'm gonna try to see if I can get it. You know what? I could probably get it on my desktop instead of going to my actual laptop because it's sad to see. I already knew when we were I saw the way they was moving the ball because I watched Red Zone for a little bit before I had to leave, and I saw how LA was moving the ball, and we were stopping them a little bit, but I saw how it got real nasty at the end, by the time I had to leave. And I sat there and looked at it. I'm just like, what is going on with the Raiders right now? It was just a shocker to me to see how we played so well last week against the Cleveland Browns, and the nerve barely put up a goose egg against a football team. The Chargers not really that good.
No, they're not.
They were 2-2 going into the division into this game. So us being 1-4, like I really just don't know how to put it. But it's just a sad thing for me to see when it comes to our Oakland Raiders. It's just really sad to see. As far as third down efficiency, we were 4 for 11, and they was 7 for 13 on third down efficiency.
Yep.
Total plays, they only had 10 more plays than us, 59 to 49. We had almost the same total drives as them. They had 10, we had 9. They averaged 7 yards per play, and we averaged 5.9 yards a play. But why we couldn't score? That's where it hurts at.
Yeah. You know, everybody wants to point their fingers at somebody, an individual.
Right.
It's the whole organization.
Yeah,
it's not just a player here, a player there. This is Derek Carr's 4th offensive coordinator in 5 years. Granted, Olsen was there his rookie year, but, you know, that's a lot of playbooks to learn. I'm sorry, I don't give a shit if you're Dan Marino. You're not going to perform when you're learning a brand new book every single year.
Yeah, he didn't have
on the other hand,
only one that really had consistency with what was the 2 years under Del Rio and Musgrave was the offensive coordinator. That was the only 2 years he had the same playbook. But 1 year he had an MVP year, and the next year he shitted himself. So
the thing about it is, the year he had the MVP year, Musgrave was there for his second consecutive year. He actually had the exact same playbook for 2 consecutive years. For the only time in his career was the year he was putting up MVP numbers before he broke his leg in that Colts game.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So this year, I'm sorry to say, if they play like they did Sunday, anymore the rest of this year, they're done. We will be looking at the number 1 draft pick because I don't even see the Raiders then beating the Colts, the Cardinals, anybody else on that schedule. They looked uninterested. They were not motivated. I mean, when you're down 2 scores and you're trying to rush up there, they're walking up to the line and huddling. Where is the 2-minute offense? Where's the no huddle? You know, get up there, poke that damn football in the end zone, put some points on the board.
Right.
They didn't do it. They showed nothing. Defense, god-awful. Expected that anyway. But now we're not scoring on top of it. That had to have been one of the worst performances I think they played better in the Skins game last year than what they played Sunday. Yeah. It was just downright awful. The whole game was just awful. It was the worst shit show I think I've ever seen. And those people that traveled to L.A., man, they need to give them their money back to have to watch that game. It was just disrespectful to everybody that's a Raiders fan out there that spent their hard-earned money to go watch that shit show of a team play on Sunday. It's not right. And I've been a fan of the Raiders since 1982. Been around for a long time. I've seen the good ups. Man, I was through the Jamarcus Russell era. I remember that trend.
Jamarcus Russell was terrible. I was there rooting for the Raiders as usual.
Yes. I will always be a Raider fan, but as fans, it reaches a boiling point to where you're like, okay, we've had what, 1 productive season in the last 12 years?
Yep.
You know, we're like treading Cleveland Brown territory right now. I mean, we may not have the QBs that they've had, but when it comes to win-losses, it's bad.
As of right now, we have a worse record than the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are 500 right now,
which they should probably be undefeated. The refs handed us that game 2 weeks ago. They literally handed on that sack by Derek Carr when he fumbled and they called it dead.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to say that was a fumble. I know football. That was a fumble. That should have been returned for a touchdown. End of discussion. Game would have been done.
Right, right.
So the refs, for the first time that I've ever seen, gift-wrapped ones for the Raiders. I'll take it. As many as they've taken away from us, I'll take that one. But still, right now, to be quite honest, we could be 3-2 or 0-5. I mean, that's how much of a seesaw, and I just don't see that fight in these guys that I thought I did earlier in the season when they were just losing them in the fourth quarter or whatever. But now it's like they got that here we go again look in their face.
Do you feel like is once John Gruden traded Khalil Mack, do you think it like really split the locker room between the coaches and the players?
Oh, I'm sure it did.
I think because, mind you, it happened right before the season started. And, Derek Carr and Bruce Urban and all of them was just like, wow, they were in shock. And I think we on a downfall because of that trade. I think we really felt some type of – I think not really the organization, but the players that knew Khalil Mack and loved him being there – out on and off the field, it took a lot out of them. And
yes, it did.
Now you're putting pressure on rookies that wasn't even supposed to be starting right now if Khalil Mack was with us.
Right.
And now you got to put the pressure on them to produce in their first year on a defensive line that was pretty solid. It was just our back end was the crazy part. But now it's more of our – we can't get pressure, and our back end could do is a little bit better than it was last year. And I'm just being honest, like our back end is pretty good. I don't even think Keenan Allen had over 100 receiving yards. Like I think we shut them down as far as passing wise. Let me just look at the box score. Yeah, Keenan Allen, he only had 8 receptions for 90 yards, but he didn't get in the end zone.
Well, see, that's the thing that even makes this game even more dumbfounding. If you look at the stats, you would have thought the game would have been tight.
Mm-hmm.
Watching it myself, every single minute of that game, the stats or anything don't even show that game any justice at all. It doesn't show anything. Also, I keep hearing rumors that now there's stuff up in the front office going on. Power struggle, if you will, since Gruden got control. Now, there's been so many outlets I've been following back and forth. The Gruden's got total control. Reggie McKenzie's still doing his thing. Honestly, I think Gruden's got control. Why else would the man leave his cush job on Monday Night Football, to come back, not to mention the $100 million contract he signed, but had to have no control at all? There's something upstairs that's not right now. There's a lot of dysfunction, I believe, going on in that building between the higher ups.
And you know what it is? It's Mark. To me, it's Mark Davis. I think Mark Davis is going down the same route of Al Davis. No disrespect to Al Davis and what he did in the past, but in the last freaking 10 to 20 years, what have the Raiders done for us besides take us to the Super Bowl back in 2000, 2001, 2002? One of those years?
2002.
What have we done lately since then besides the 12-4 year? And that's when we had Del Rio, and then we was ready to get Del Rio out of here because we wanted Gruden back, and now we got Gruden back, and Del Rio last year we went 6-10, and we don't even look like a 6-10 team this year.
No.
Gruden.
Honestly, right now, the way I'm seeing it, I mean, it's something that better improve drastically within the next few days. I don't see this team winning 6 games this year. Now, that's just the eye test. Now, don't get me wrong. I would love to see them win a lot of ball games this year still. But from what I've seen, from what I know, we've already played, 5 weeks?
Right.
You are who you are by that time. You kind of have an identity by that time. It's just not all of a sudden, the fairy's going to come down, wave her damn magic wand, and all of a sudden we're going to score 50 a game and our defense is going to start, playing well. I don't see it. I hope I'm wrong. God, I hope I'm wrong. But right now, the eye test from what I've seen, I don't see it happening. I've never seen a quarterback sit back in a lazy boy, smoke a cigar, and drink some scotch while surveying the secondary to find an open receiver. That's how much time he had. pathetic. It was sad. And as a defensive back, I don't care how good you are. I don't care if you're Deion Sanders. You're not going to be able to cover a guy for a full 10 seconds. You just get – eventually he's going to find space and get open. Now our secondary's looking like crap because our front seven can't get a pass rush. And when we do bring our linebackers in, that opens up the middle of the field. And they're just dumping it off and gaining. And then we can't tackle on top of it. So instead of a 5-yard gain, you tackle them on the spot, they're going for 15 to 20. Big play after big play after big play. It's sad. It's sad to sit back and watch and to be this frustrated right now. I was worse 2 days ago. I mean, I was human 2 days ago. But, my God, something's got to change. Something's got to change, and it's got to be drastic. You know, I mean, our offense, we know has got to score. I mean, I knew coming in our defense wasn't going to be good enough to hold the team down. What do you think is going to happen when we play the damn Chiefs and their offense? I mean, they're not going to punt.
Hell,
they're the suspect, but so was the Chargers, and we couldn't score on them.
If when we play the Chiefs, if we can't score on that defense, then it's not their defense, it's our offense. If we cannot score on the Chiefs' defense, the Chiefs' defense is just as worse as our defense, and teams are putting up points against this Chiefs' defense. It's just that they're just getting outscored by the Chiefs' offense. So playing the Chiefs, it could be a winnable game depending on if you learn, you know, Patrick Mahomes. By the time we play them, Patrick Mahomes should be understood on how to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. But that defense is the reason why we can still beat them, period. But the next games that we do got coming up, Seahawks, I'm not really concerned about the Seahawks offense because they don't really have nothing to worry about. I'm just concerned with the Seahawks defense. Seahawks defense is pretty solid, knowing they're not really called the Legion of Boom anymore. But
they can still play.
They can still play football, but I think they only play better when they're at home, and we got them at our home. So that's an interesting game to look at. We play the Colts the following week. Then we got the 49ers. The 49ers, if we can't beat the 49ers, then the season's over.
Yeah, it'll be done.
If we can't beat the 49ers, the season is over. And that's just how I see it there. We got the Chargers again, Cardinals, Ravens. I can see that being I really don't know what that game is going to be because the Ravens are up and down team.
But their defense is phenomenal.
Their defense is phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. But Crabtree has not been effective over there at all.
No. It's been the John Brown show.
It's been the John Brown show. And that's why I think it might be a possible winnable game if our defense step it up.
Well, see, the one thing about the Seahawks game, I want to go to this upcoming week's game. The one thing that worries me, we cannot generate a pass rush. Fair?
Fair.
Okay. Russell Wilson's mobile. Doug Baldwin's back. If we can't create a pass rush, that man could just take off and use his feet.
The only thing that
worries me. Rupert isn't mobile, and he killed us.
I can say that, but what really concerns me outside of that, what's more of the concern is the running game for the Seahawks. Mike Davis and Chris Carson are running the ball very effectively. It's taking the ball out of Russell Wilson's hands for him to not even have to scramble. If we can stop the run, we got to make Russell Wilson throw the football. Period. We got to make him throw the football. And if they average at least like 2 yards, oh my God, at least 2 yards, or 2 yards, or like run 2 or 3 yards, I'm fine with that. But I don't want us giving up 6 or 7 yards per carry between two running backs. I don't want to. I can't not afford to see that.
Right.
So the last 2 weeks, they've been running really well as a 1-2 punch. That's my main concern. That and that defense. Russell Wilson, outside of Doug Baldwin, you got Tyler Lockett. They don't have no tight end. So with that being said, I'm not really concerned about their tight end.
No.
If Doug Baldwin is 100%, then I'm really concerned. But if he's not 100%, I'm not really looking forward to that. I like Tyler Lockett, but he got speed. So you want to put our best corner. If you want to put our best corner on Tyler Lockett, if Doug Baldwin is not 100%.
Well, the thing about it is, Lockett gets past. who's going to be the safety back there is going to be a safety blanket. It's going to be Reggie Nelson.
No.
He's running the 40 right now in 3 days. He gets past our corner, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. So,
Right.
I mean, everybody's got to step up this week. If they're going to get this win, one, they got to get some sort of pressure from anybody on Russell Wilson, making him a little bit uncomfortable. The run game, their run game the last couple of weeks has been phenomenal. Hell, they almost beat the Rams last week.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they came very close in beating the Rams. That's scary. That is a really scary thought. So when they go to London this week, it's a pseudo home game. So hopefully Gruden's grinders that he brought in, the superstars from 2001 that we signed on our team this year, actually come to play.
Right.
Now that's another thing too. I mean, it makes me wonder what's in that man's head. I don't think anybody knows anymore. He don't even show the passion that he used to back in the day. On the sideline, you used to see that Chucky look. Now it looks like he's smelling his upper lip. I'm not grasping a lot of stuff that's going on right now.
So if that's the case, then if they don't believe in Gruden, which I still think they do, because I think this is the first year. This is going to be growing pains with us. I mean, we did want that turnaround instantly, but if it's not getting done by the coaches, then the captains have to step up. Bruce Irvin, you got to speak up about that defense. Derek Carr, you got to speak up to your offensive coordinator about the offense, what you should run. Like, this is what I don't see on the sideline when Derek Carr is on the sideline. I don't see your offensive coordinator talking to you, looking down at the playbook, looking down at the game tape, or what should be done on the next drive. I see that from Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson. I see that from Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I see that from Drew Brees and Sean Payton or whoever it is. But you see how they go right back to the bench and when they defense on the field and look down at that playbook and see what should be done on the next drive. What made certain drives effective for us to get points on the board.
Right.
I don't see that.
Nope, it's not there. So that chemistry, it just seems like chemistry on the entire team is not there right now.
Right.
And honestly, that's the scariest part about it. I mean, right now, we could very well go 1-15. We can very well go 1-15. Could they turn this thing around? The talent level's there. They've got the guys that can play football. They've proven it. They've proven it in time that they can play. Do they want to? Is there something else going on that I don't know? I'm
really shocked about our offense because we have so much firepower on offense.
Exactly. And I think what got me the most.
Too many options. Rashard, Doug Martin, Marshawn Lynch, Martavius Bryant, Jordy Nelson, Jared Cook, Amari Cooper.
Yes.
Me, I say more? That's seven weapons right there on the offense. If we only putting up 10 points, we got to play better.
And it's against the defense that was ranked in the bottom half of the league. I think that's what got me. I figured this game was going to be a shootout. Last team to have the ball was going to win this game. That's what I had in my mind.
Right.
10 points the whole game, and we got a gift touchdown because they didn't see the illegal motion on the offense because nobody was set, and then he threw a gimme. That's what I seen. I mean, I hope to God somebody out there can prove me wrong and show me something that I don't know, but I watched that whole game, and honestly, the more I watched, the more pissed off I got by watching it. It was just execution wasn't there. The fire wasn't there. And by God, they better bring that stuff back faster. This season's going to be over.
The thing about it is Gruden was the one that called the first and goal play. He called it.
And he said he'd do it again. And Marshawn was so pissed walking off, he couldn't even believe it. But, you've got a running back like that, and you're within a yard. Man, at least give him 2 cracks. The man, it takes multiple people to bring him down. So he gets hit the first time, maybe loses a yard, fine. It gives you a little bit more.
The issue with that is it's not just the Oakland Raiders that's doing it. It's the league.
Oh, it's everybody.
Every team in the league, it gets to 1 yard line, and you got a big power back. But, oh, no, you want to throw play action. Why?
Well, dear God, if anything, at least throw a corner fade. to where only your receiver can get if you're going to throw it. Throw a corner fade to one of your wideouts.
Exactly.
Why didn't you do that? You throw in the middle of the field with a defensive end. A defensive end, by God, standing right in front of your face. Merry Christmas. He caught it right in front of him.
Right.
How could you not have seen him? He literally was eye to eye with you. So those are the things. And then the post-game talks. I don't even want to watch that crap anymore. I'm tired of
I don't even watch it now. I don't even watch the post-game talks now. When we lose, it's a bunch of it's full of crap. It's full.
Yes, it is.
It don't get us wrong.
You know, Derek's been saying it for a long time. Oh, I'll get better. We'll get better, and I'll get better. When's this going to happen? Why don't you just say, hey, the playbook's a little bit more difficult than what I thought. It's going to take me a little bit longer to grasp this playbook. I'm rushing. I'm trying to make something happen that's not there. I can respect that, but he's not.
Right.
He's not. You know, admit up. Be a man, admit, hey, that was dumb. That was dumb. I mean, yeah, I don't even know why I threw it. I respect that.
And to all the Raiders fans out there, we're not bashing the Oakland Raiders. We are just frustrated as loyal fans. We can't blame Derek Carr. We can't blame the offense. It got to be a collective. So anybody that's in the Raider Nation Facebook group, any Raider Nation Facebook group, once this video will be posted, we're not bashing the Oakland Raiders. We're letting you know that we are more of a realistic fans that know football, and it was a collective loss from the GM, the owner, the coaching staff, to the players, to the ball boy, to the equipment team. Everybody in that organization is the reason why we're losing right now. You can't blame not one player. You can't blame Derek Carr. Derek Carr doesn't play defense.
Nope.
Marshawn Lynch doesn't play defense. Reggie Nelson doesn't play offense. Like, you can't blame one player from each side. You gotta do it as a collective. Understanding that the coach calls the play and they gotta execute the play, but at the same time, you should know a strategy when you get down at 1st and goal on the 1. You could even do a goddamn quarterback sneak. Do a quarterback sneak. Do a fumble-rooski. Do something creative. That's all we're asking.
Thank you. Yes, I completely agree. There's something that's not right. I will put my finger on. I can't right now, but there is something going on within that organization that's just not right. There's heads being butted. We'll find out in the offseason, guaranteed. That's going to be obvious. Heads are going to start to roll. And unfortunately, I think it's going to be Reggie's that's going to end up going. If Reggie ends up going, you know we're not going to get another GM because you know Gruden's running the show. Hell, he even brought in his own scouts while Reggie has his. Did you hear that story?
Yeah, apparently, I heard about it.
College scouts. John has his, and now they're butting heads over who to take. Man, that's not good. You know, you don't want that because I said shit runs downhill. It starts here and it goes straight down to the players.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't want that. You know, everybody has got to be collective. If this team is going to get back to where they should have stayed the whole damn time, a prominent franchise, it starts at the top. I mean, it starts up at the top.
That's what I'm feeling that with Mark Davis and Reggie McKenzie. I have an issue with them because I understand that Jack Del Rio went 6-10 last year after a 12-4 season. But y'all really didn't give Jack Del Rio a shot. And I'm going to just be honest. I understand y'all wanted John Gruden back in that chair. But we didn't give Jack Del Rio a spot. But at the same time, they stopped playing for Jack Del Rio. The players stopped. But my thing is, what was the reasoning why they stopped playing for Jack Del Rio? Because he couldn't control the locker room. He couldn't control the temper of Michael Crabtree. We just don't know. But I felt like with Jack Del Rio at the helm, he was the reason why we went 12-4. He was the reason why we went 12-4. He was calling the defense. Bill Musgrave was calling the offense, but I really never liked Bill Musgrave as an offensive coordinator anyway.
I think that's kind of where stuff started falling off. Remember, Derek had him for back-to-back years. He was used to that playbook, and for some reason it worked for him. Yeah, he was a dip and duck type of guy, you know, throwing those, but man, he actually got to work with an OC 2 years in a row. I mean, we got Greg Olson back. Olson was there Carr's rookie year. Well, hopefully the coaching staff stays together. And I want to see what he can do with the exact same offense for 2 years in a row again. Maybe this year's just an anomaly. I don't know. You know, but right now, as I said, the eye test itself, and by all of us watching this, right, I've got nothing really to be positive about right now. How can I? I mean, nothing really just jumps out and says, hey, you know, this week we're going to blow up. I just feel it. I don't have that sense. I don't feel it. I'm actually, when I turn on that game on Sunday, man, I'm going to be sweating because I'm not going to know what team's going to be showing up that day. I have no clue. And I don't want to see another game like I just watched. I don't want to see another one of them the rest of my life if I have to.
Right.
But I just – something's got to give. Something's got to give everywhere before this team actually starts taking some steps forward. And I just don't know if this year's going to be it or not.
All right, so let's just get straight into this upcoming week's game. We are playing the 2-3 Seahawks in London this weekend. Hopefully, I think that'll probably be like a 9 o'clock. It's a 1 p.m. game according to Fox.
Yeah, it's 12 Central.
Yeah, it'll be like so 12 Central. So it would be like what? What time that would be on the East Coast?
Eastern time be 1.
Okay, all right.
So it's the opening game of the day.
Okay.
The early Sundays.
So we just gonna go into the preview of this game here. Just to let you know, in team stats, the Seattle Seahawks averaged 23.2 points a game to our 21.4. They allowed 22.8 points a game. That's points allowed on defense. We allowed 29.8. So I got a feeling this is going to be a high-scoring game. Total yards, 339.6 compared to our 423.4. Yards allowed. They allowed 368.6. We allowed 413.2 per game. Per game. That's crazy.
Big plays.
Exactly.
The Raiders are one of the teams have given up some of the biggest plays over 25 yards this year. I mean, when a quarterback goes back, drops and throws it, and they score a touchdown for 70 yards, you know, as an offense, got to do better. Got to keep the opposing team's offense off the field. Have to do that. Have to control the football. Have to control the clock. And then we have to finish. Now with a field goal, they need to finish by poking the ball into the end zone for the 6 each time. If we're going to end up staying in ball games, and as I said, Seattle, they're coming off of I don't know, maybe an emotional type of win. You know, that's another Rams game.
The Rams beat them last week.
Right, but still, they were there with them till the very, very end.
Yeah.
A team that says that nobody could beat them. A team that's been blasting through the entire league the beginning of this year. All of a sudden, the Seahawks, who everybody gave zero chance to, played a football game. Right. They played for the entire 60 minutes of football. They played toe-to-toe with the undefeated Rams and actually knocked 2 of their wide receivers out of the game in the process.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp ended up getting hurt, and Brandon Cooks. Both of them ended up getting hurt. They was in concussion protocol, which I was kind of still happy at the same time because Cooper Kupp already put up fantasy numbers for me. So outside of that was pretty good for me anyway. Right. But this Oakland Raiders team, man, we gotta see the heart. It comes down to heart. It comes down to not quitting and not giving up because that's what we did against the Chargers. We gave up.
Yep.
Phillip Rivers is no district. No, I'm not giving I'm giving respect to Phillip Rivers because he always light us up when he's home. He can't beat us at home. That's been the issue with Phillip Rivers. When he play us at home, at our home, he can't beat us there. So, of course, I was expecting Phillip Rivers to put up big numbers, knowing the fact that our defense were shitty anyway. But, Melvin Gordon went off on us. He went off.
Even Austin Eckler, he had a monster play against us. But then again, I guess he's been doing that to everybody this year. But they need that sense of urgency.
Yeah.
They need it. They need it now. They need it this week. They need this week because we got a bye week next week.
Right.
Go to London, play, get a bye week, regroup. We could very well go into the bye at 2-4. Okay. Now I'm starting to think, well, maybe we can at least finish at the 500 mark at 8-8. Maybe.
I would rather be 8-8 than be 6-10 or 1-15.
Yes.
I would prefer
out there, man. They're got to show that sense of urgency. They're going to have to get after it. Somebody is going to have to step up. And I'm not talking like Bruce Irvin. I'm talking about somebody who hasn't yet this year. Maybe Arden Key has a coming out party.
And where's Rogers Camardi at? Where's
Markel Lee? Somebody, just somebody has to have that game that just makes everybody else around them better. No, we don't have another Khalil Mack that can do that every single week. But maybe once a week, somebody else steps up.
It's time to move forward from Khalil Mack. It's been 5 weeks. It's been 5 weeks, and I understand that it was a hurt piece. Hearing about him being traded, and it took a lot away from us as a football team. But it's 5 weeks in. We can't live off of Khalil Mack anymore. Understand that he's having a great year in Chicago. Cool. But we're still the Oakland Raiders at the end of the day, and we still have to play football.
Yep.
Period. Just imagine if Khalil Mack was here. Just imagine, and he gets hurt. Then what? We
would have been screwed.
We'll be in the same situation right now. It wouldn't be no different. I mean, I wish, I don't wish any injury on no player because it wasn't in his hands for him to be traded. The organization traded him. Period. The organization traded him. So with that being said, Khalil Mack did what he was supposed to do. He got his money. Now he's balling out. You can't like me as a fan. I was mad that he got traded, and I was mad that the money that we did offer him, he didn't take. But he got what I guess he got the years that he wanted because trust me, he took less in Chicago. He took less in Chicago. I'm gonna let you know that now. He just got more years on his contract, but he took less money. So that's exactly what it was at the end of the day. And we gotta get over it. Starting right now. 5 weeks is up right now. A month and a week is over now. It's time for us to put our foot on somebody's throat and win the football games. Period.
Right.
Period.
And as I said, and somebody on that defense, here's looking at you, Arden Key. You've got the talent. You've got the skill set. Hell, they were comparing him to a young Aldon Smith. I can see the resemblance in it. I just don't see the production right yet.
Right.
I think once that kid gets his first taste of kicking ass in a game, I think it's going to snowball for him. But I'm waiting for that game to happen to give ourselves that good bookend over there on the opposite side of Bruce Irvin. Hurst has been playing pretty good football. Have not been a bit disappointed with him. He's been playing about like I thought he would be, really solid. But it just seems like the inconsistencies that are going around. But I think I'm more disappointed in our offense than anything because of their lack of scoring. This offense, they should be putting up 30-plus. 30-plus a game. And in today's NFL, that's not saying much. Everybody's putting up 30-plus. We put up 10 on a bad defense. 10. And 7 of it was a gimme.
San Francisco, without Garoppolo, put up more points against the Chargers than we did.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's a pathetic shit show on offense right now. And the only way this team is going to get over that hump and start winning ball games is if that offense shows up and shows out on Sundays. Because if they don't, we're screwed. We're going to have to score. We're going to have to go back to 2016 when that's how we won ball games. We won
on fourth down.
Everybody. We gave up a shit ton.
Shit, go for fourth down. Shit.
Yeah, we gave up a ton of points that year too. But our offense won the game for. I can live with that.
Right.
I'm sure everybody can live with that. And that's the way the NFL. It's turning out to be an offensive league. Got to start putting points on the board. I mean, that's what it all boils down to. You've got to put the points on the board and got to be consistently doing it. Don't bring out a punter. 4th and 1, have some balls. Go for it.
Right.
1st and goal, run it once or twice. If that doesn't work, throw a fade into the corner. You know, small little things like that, I don't know. I know Carr is pressing. He's trying to make things happen that's not there. And it's causing turnovers. Hell, he's leading the league in interceptions thrown right now with 8. You know, he got to cut down on the mistakes.
I think it's him because I think Brady threw a lot too.
I think Carr's leading right now with 8.
That's a stat that we'll find out for another day.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to look that up. But yeah, so for this week's game, the keys to the game for this upcoming week against Seattle is stop the run, let Russell Wilson beat you. That's my thing. Defensively, let Russell Wilson beat you. That's just my personal opinion. Because I feel like the receivers is not better than our receiving core. In offense, we have to move the ball. We got to keep the drives going.
Yep.
Get past third downs,
on the sideline.
3rd and 2s, and we're freaking punting on 4th and 1. No. Get the first down on the 3rd down, and let's keep the time of possession. Simple as that's just simple football. That's all that's need to be done. Defensively, if we can hold them to a few 3 and outs for us to get our team back on, cool. But if you notice, our defense plays well when they're off the field for a long period of time. So offense, of Derek Carr in this offense, all you need to do is sustain drives. The more sustained drives we do and the more points we get, the less tired our defense will be.
I agree.
Our defense is on the field too much. That's why we're giving up so many points, because offensively we're actually not – we're doing 3 and outs and that's it. The defense gets a stop for us. They pump the football. We get the ball back and it's 3 and out.
Yep.
So now it's that time – for us to sustain drives. I need like at least a 15-minute drive, 10-minute drive, something to keep our defense off the field so they can make adjustments with their coordinator and their position coaches, and then we get back out there and we be good. That's all I gotta say. That's how we gonna win the game. That's how I think we're gonna win the game.
Right. Well, we have to flip the field. We cannot give Seattle a short field. That means limiting your turnovers. As a matter of fact, don't turn it over. You know, if you got to throw the ball away, fine. Throw the ball away, punt it. Don't throw into triple coverage like he did last week. Fell in love with Ryen Could, threw into triple coverage while Derek Carrier was wide open in the back of the end zone. Don't make stupid mistakes because it will flip the entire field. And then all of a sudden, now our defense got a short field to have to deal with.
Right.
Makes it a lot easier for the opposing offense to score. Give them a long field to work with. Make them earn it. And then, as I said, the biggest thing is just flip the field of position. Just flip it. Let's see if we can't get a shorter field to work with, and then run some clock. Run some clock. Control it the whole way. Win that field position and win the time of possession. You're going to win those ball games, especially if you don't turn it over.
Right. But this is our Raider Nation podcast. We said what we had to say. Now they got to put it into action. They got to put it into action here, and it's about time. It's time to change this season around. It's about time, and that's all we really got to say. We said enough. We said enough as Raiders fans. We said enough. enough is enough. It's time to flip the script. It's time to flip the switch now. We should have flipped the switch after the Browns game, but it didn't happen. So it's time to flip the switch now. Hope this was a wake-up call for y'all, Oakland. But this is the Oakland Raider Nation podcast, episode 2. We are officially done here for the night. Definitely comment, like, and subscribe to the Spotlight Sports Talk podcast channel on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We have it everywhere. Raider Nation, it's been good. It's been fun. Chad, it's been great talking to you, man, because you're more like the realistic Raiders fans out there. We keep it raw. We keep it uncut here on the Raider Nation podcast. We keep it raw and uncut, man. So we see y'all next week for episode 3. Hopefully we can do it right after the game against Seattle. If not, we'll do it sometime in a week. But definitely subscribe to our channel, and we see y'all next week.
Peace out.